mk temp. Other than that, they are telling that everything is what? Thread safe, so you don't have to worry about that. And then if you go below, you will find that they have described about classes. And in classes, there is only one class which they have described. What it says? It's a spooled temporary file. So if you import a temp file, and if you create a spooled temporary file object, then what benefit you will get? So they describe there that it's a temporary file wrapper, okay, and the purpose of this is if the file size goes beyond some limit. Temporary file is what? A file which is not existing on disk, but it is present in RAM, memory map file, similar to memory map file. So it's present in RAM and you want to perform file like IO. So you create what? Temporary file. But if you want some temporary file which you want that later it might go to disk as well, then in that case you should use what? This spooled temporary file object, okay. But we will not see that one. We will see the, so go below, skip the class, and then you directly see the functions. Can you see the functions? लवकर लेट क्यों कर रहा रे? फोन करता हूं मैं तुझे सुबह अभी. So now if you see, what is the first function? Named temporary file. So if you want to give the name to the temporary file, you will use this named temporary file. Now what it is having arguments, if you see, so mode is W plus B, that means it is write plus binary mode, okay, and then buffer size is -1, so those are the default values. Prefix is what? /temp. So that temp means what? It must be creating in what? /temp directory, which is because it's a temporary file, right? It's a temporary file, it's not a persistent file which you want to be persisted across power cycle, okay. So that is name temporary file. Another one is just temporary file, where you see no name you are giving. Import temp file. Go to your Python prompt and import temp file. का रे उशीर? हाँ पोहे खाता होता. बर नेट बॅकअप. अच्छा तुमची सगळ्यांची नाव कोण लिहिलीत का त्याच्यात? हाँ चष्मा जरा पवन जरा ये हम त्यालाच येऊ दे. हेल्प टेम्प फाईल, तेच तर महत्वाचं आहे. इम्पोर्ट टेम्प फाईल मग हेल्प टेम्प फाईल. So have you started your Python prompt everyone? चालू हुआ क्या मशीन? झालं का रे? पर हे बहुतेक आता इन्फोसिस वाले दमले. हाँ गायब आहेत, सगळे गायब आहेत, तिघच्या तिघ गायब आहेत. तू कसं काय आला रे आज इकडे? रस्ता चुकला? ह्याच्या पुढच्या लेक्चर पासून जर का दांडी मारलीस तर दंड आहे मग. So import temp file and then do help on temp file. Help temp file. आणि बरोबर भाग्यश्रीचं नाव फक्त मोठं लिहिलंय, बाकी सगळ्यांची नावं छोटी लिहिलेली आहेत. हा कारण ते त्याचा फॉन्टच मोठा आहे. ये लवकर काय एकदम प्रोग्राम करण्यात पण पहिली आहे म्हणजे झालं. झालं का? बघितलं का? सो ट्राय टू क्रिएट अ अननेम्ड टेम्पररी फाईल अँड डू रीड राईट ऑन इट. काय केलं? हा बरोबर, हेल्प टेम्प फाईल. ट्राय टू क्रिएट अन अननेम्ड टेम्पररी फाईल. म्हणजे काय कराल तुम्ही? I want everyone to try it out. I don't want to give the syntax. I want to know that whether you have understood how to use Python modules. काय कराल? You have to create a temp file object. What you will do now? काय करशील अमय? तू थांब, तुझं नाव अमय नाहीये. तुला जमायला पाहिजे कारण तू ऑलरेडी करतोयस भरपूर. अमयची जरा शनिवार रविवारच प्रॅक्टिस होते. हां कर ना, बघूया काय करतो बघ. आपल्याला नेम्ड बनवायची नाहीये, अननेम्ड बनवायची. येस, हेल्प बघितली का? अजून एक पायथन प्रॉम्प्ट सुरू करा. हा, एका प्रॉम्प्ट वरती हेल्प आणि दुसऱ्या प्रॉम्प्ट वरती काम. हा करा आता इम्पोर्ट टेम्प फाइल. क्या कर रहे भाई? ये क्या? हाँ तो बनाओ ना, ऑब्जेक्ट बराबर बना रहे, बट अभी जरा और थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ. हाँ बनव लवकर, तुला जाऊ देणार नाही मी आज. काय झालं? हां आता काय करायचं इथे? आपल्याला आता टेम्पररी फाईल एक बनवायची आणि त्याच्यावरती रीड राईट करायचं. लेट्स से यू वांट टू राईट युअर नेम टू इट. व्हॉट यू विल डू? काय करशील गौरी? जा अजून खाली जा, टेम्प फाईलचे अजून मेथड्स बघ. हा अननेम्ड आहे ना, फंक्शन आहे ना एक. अननेम्ड साठी एक फंक्शन आहे की नाही? आणि वरती बघा मग रीड राईट मेथड आहेत की नाही बघा त्याच्यात. केलं? हां हां मग आता त्या ऑब्जेक्ट वरती रीड राईट कर ना. बरोबर, इम्पोर्ट टेम्प फाईल. नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज एकामध्ये हेल्प बघा. एफडीच्या ऐवजी इथे आता टेम्प फाईलचा ऑब्जेक्ट असणार आहे, एफडी नसणार आहे इथे. एफडी इज युअर टेम्प फाईल ऑब्जेक्ट हिअर. The way you created io.file, right? It is same thing. Temp file dot temporary file. That's it. No need to give any name, nothing. Then do a write. Then do a tell to know where you are. Then do the seek and then again do the read. इतकं सोपं आहे बघा. मैं तुम्ही का why you take extra efforts? I don't understand. Import temp file. Then I created an object temp is equal to temp file dot temporary file. बरोबर की नाही? I created an object of temporary file. Now temporary file class is present in temp file module. So I have to use what? Temp file dot temporary file. So I got that object. Somebody used name temporary file. It's fine. There you can specify the name to the temporary file. But here I am not specifying. Then I did a write on it. Then I called the tell. So tell says me that my now cursor is at present at 5th. And that's why it write hello. After writing hello, it's a 5-length string, right? समझते का? And then I did a seek to 0, 0. So I came to beginning and then I did temp file dot read. So after reading 5 bytes, I got what? Hello. Because I had written what? Hello. हाँ, मग तुम्ही 3.x वाल्यांनी बी द्यायचं, बी आधी बाईट्सला एक एरर आली की बी द्यायचं आधी, म्हणजे स्ट्रिंगच्या आधी बी द्यायचं. आता परत नाही दाखवणार. 3.x people should write b before the string because it wants everything as a byte. You can specify the directory, the temp directory you can specify. So when you specify, right, it will create then in disk. See, it's a default value, right? It is having default value. If you give that value, then it will create on that path. But if you don't give, it will create in RAM only. So see, RAM means what? It will create in temp file system. See, at the end, every file is mapped to disk as well. Okay, it will be just that it will be present in temp file system. So when you restart your system, everything will go. That's fine. It's a stream of bytes. That's why it prints that B as well. स्ट्रिंगच्या आधी, हॅलोच्या आधी, कोट्सच्या आधी बी द्यायचा. ब्रॅकेटच्या आतमध्ये होऊ दे की बी प्रिंट. बी म्हणजे बाईट. टेन्शन घेऊ नका. When it gets printed, don't worry. B means byte. अरे मित्रा, तुझा ऑब्जेक्ट काय आहे? नेम टेम्पररी फाईल. हे बघ, तू जे केलंस ना, हे जे होतं ना, हा रिटर्न करतोय त्या ऑब्जेक्टला, तो तू घेतलंच नाही. आणि जे करशील ते आता तू एक्स वर करशील ना. हा, काय म्हणतो? अरे एक्स डॉट राईट केलंस ना तू, की PNK लिहिलं त्याने, पण तुझा एक्स गेला कुठे? एक्स डॉट टेल कर ना. कर्सर कुठे तुझा आता? त्याच्या पुढे काहीच नाहीये ना, म्हणून सीक करून मागे जा. राईट केलं की बरोबर ना. त्याने राईट मध्ये तुला रिटर्न केलं, त्याने किती लिहिलंय ते. आता तुला एक्स डॉट टेलनी तुला कळेल की कर्सर कुठे आहे. आता तू जर का रीड करशील एक्स डॉट रीड, तर तो 5च्या पुढचं रीड करणार. काहीच नाहीये 5च्या पुढे, म्हणून मग एक्स डॉट सीक कर. आता तो कुठे पोहोचला? 0ला. आता रीड कर, कारण तुझ्या फाईल मध्ये तेवढं नंतर एंड ऑफ फाईल आहे. गरज नाही ना. टेम्प नाव होते ना, टेम्प फाईल म्हणजे काय? टेम्पररी फाईल. आपण हा म्हणजे तो क्रिएट करतो. विथ युझिंग दिस मॉड्यूल वी टेल हिम टू क्रिएट इट. काही गरज नाहीये. तो बाय डिफॉल्ट रॅम मध्ये क्रिएट करतो, किंवा तुझी टेम्प डिरेक्टरी जी असते /temp मध्ये तो क्रिएट करेल, तिथे करेल. क्या हुआ? हाँ, अभी रीड राइट करो. हुआ क्या? एक्स डॉट रीड. अभी सीक करना पड़ेगा ना पहले, क्योंकि राइट करने के बाद तुम कहाँ पे चले जाओगे? कर्सर तुम्हारा आगे चला जाएगा ना, तो फिर से उसको पीछे लेके आओ. हाँ, फिर /temp डिरेक्टरी मध्ये बघ, टेम्पररी डिरेक्टरीत बघ. भाई इधर राडा किए ना तुमने। नहीं होना चाहिए ऐसे।
और रीड दो आर्गुमेंट करें सेल्फ और
ये तो जरूरत नहीं है। आपके यहाँ पे ऐसा एरर क्यों दे रहा है? थ्री डॉट वर्जन कौन सा वर्जन है? फिर चलना चाहिए। इधर चला क्या? इधर क्या हुआ? अरे भाई अच्छा टेम डॉट पी वाई किधर है? खोल टेम डॉट पी वाई। आल्ट आल्ट क्या कर रहा है? इतने इनपुट दिए उसको तूने, उसको प्रिंट टाइम करेगा तो कैसे चलेगा रे?
वो क्या प्रिंट कर रहा था मैं देख रहा था बस।
हाँ वो टाइप प्रिंट करेगा।
टेम आपने क्या बोले वो टेम डायरेक्टरी में फाइल होंगी।
टेम्पररी डायरेक्टरी, अभी टेम्पररी डायरेक्टरी कैन बी पास फ्रॉम रैम और इट कैन बी फ्रॉम द डिस्क ऑल्सो। तो हमें क्या, हमें रीड राइट करना है ना, वो फाइल कहाँ पे है वो देखने की जरूरत नहीं है। अगर वो देखने की जरूरत रहती तो हम टेम्पररी फाइल नहीं बनाते ना, समझ रहे क्या?
तो ये रन होने पर टेम्परेरी फाइल डिलीट हो जाएगी।
हाँ देख, अभी तू देख सिर्फ एक बार, वो मोड है ना W+B, वो फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट तूने प्रिंट किया ना, प्रिंट टेम्प प्रिंट किया, तो टेम्प इज व्हाट, उसका मोड उसने दिखाया है, वो फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट है,
और ये क्या है ऐड।
वो उसका एड्रेस है रे। जैसे अपना आईडी रहता है ना, वैसे उसका आईडी है वो। क्या हुआ? हाँ हो गया क्या? करे
करते
कुठला तरी दुसरा प्रोग्राम करतोय।
बघत होतो मागे
टेम्प फाईलचं काय झालं?
ते राईट कर
हां बघू. काय रिकामी आहे? हा निवांत आहे आता. हा टेन्शन नाही तुला. आता तुझा मॅनेजर पण सुट्टीवर आहे.
मॅनेजर कुठे आहे आता?
जुना पण नव्हता का? बरोबर टीममेट. काय हे काय काही पण टाकतो का मला? कर बंद पटकन. हो गया डन. What happened?
Doesn't have any attribute called name and temporary file. Army or what?
What is the version? So check help, do help on that and see whether there is that there or not. Just do a help and see the version with which you are running, right? Try to do run and help and see काय झालं का? समजलं का? टाका स्क्रिप्ट मध्ये, प्रोग्राम मध्ये टाकून ठेवा. काय नाही कळलं?
राईट म्हटलं ना आपण, राईट
हां.
म्हटल्यावर तो 5 किंवा 10 म्हणजे आता इथे पण हे केलं हॅलो वर्ल्ड केला तो 10 आकडा दिसतो. ठीक आहे.
अरे दॅट इज रिटर्न व्हॅल्यू. ती जी 10 आहे ना दॅट इज रिटर्न व्हॅल्यू. किती बाईट्स लिहिले? हाँ तेने काय फर्क पड़ता तुला? हाँ नंबर ऑफ बाइट्स. डीआर अगर तुझे कोई दूसरे डायरेक्टरी पे चाहिए तो तू वो डायरेक्टरी दे सकता है. तूने डायरेक्टरी दिया तो वो डायरेक्टरी में टेम्पररी फाइल बनाएगा. क्लिअर आहे का? झालं कारण झालं का रे? ओके. सो कधी आला मुंबईवरनं? गुड. झालं ना आता सुरू झालं ना? MongoDB मध्ये काम आहे का? ओके ठीक आहे. think let's start. Is it clear to everyone? Are you getting it? Okay. So now let's try to understand what is object oriented programming. Okay, and then we will understand how we can do that in Python. Okay, whatever we learned till date, everywhere we are trying to do what? We are creating functions. If you see, we were creating what? Writing functions. Procedure, main was also a function, right? From main we were calling some other function. So at the end what we were doing, we were having multiple functions, right? So when we are writing just functions, right, so it is known as a procedural approach, where everything you think from a perspective of a function. Whatever you do, you think from a perspective of a function. Now but when we map this to real world, when we try to map this to real world, you will find that it doesn't map exactly. Because when I say Jitendra start walking, is everyone walking or Jitendra only walking? So if you just see who is walking, only Jitendra. When I say Pankaj get out, is everyone going to get out or just Pankaj is going to get out? Right? So now how you will try to achieve this then in a procedural programming? Because in procedural programming you don't call that this dot get out or Pankaj dot get out. You call get out and then you will pass probably Pankaj as an argument to it, but it won't be invoked on Pankaj. Okay. Now if I want to, let's say, represent human in my language, we want to represent human in Python, how we will do it? If we want to represent a human in Python, so hold on. So what he says is right. He is telling that if you want to represent human, create a class, because he is aware of class. That's why he said that create a class. But had it been, let's say, Shanta, we would have been, let's say, programming in C language. What we would have done? We would have created a structure of human, right? And in struct human, what we would have done? We would have added all the attributes of human. Attributes like number of eyes, number of hands, right? Then sex and other all things, Aadhaar number, everything we will put it into what? That human structure or human class. And then every one of us are what? An instance of that class. Every one of us are what? An instance of that human class. So human Jitendra, human Bhagyashree, human Dharma. So all are what? Instance of that human class. Okay. Now what was, so when the evolution was happening, what happened was the methods that were executed, they were not written as part of the structure itself. Like let's say human methods were not written in the structure human itself, but they were written outside. So when you write method outside, right, it happens that anyone can call it, like walk method as we said, right? If we are writing right now, what we will do, we will define walk, and to that we will pass an argument as an object, right, on which or the one which we want to work. Now let's say if I, instead of this, right, instead of this, now this def walk, how we will call, if we have to call, so let's say this is main, and from main how we will call, just walk we will call, right, walk and the object, let's say Pankaj. Now this is one way, but let's say if I provide you a better way, and then in main what you do is you create Pankaj is equal to human, and then while calling you call Pankaj dot walk. Which one looks better? or which one looks very clear? What do you think? Which one looks more clear? Easy to understand or easy to visualize? Yeah, you might worry, sir, ये class बीस क्या है? But just look at this part. Which one you find it a simpler one, or to understand it's more easier, it's more clear that who is walking? Okay. Now she is telling that she understands this better. Okay. Okay. Now let's understand that this walk method, right, can be of human, it can be of animal also. Animals also walk. But when animals walk, they walk with 4 legs. Whereas human will walk with 2 legs. So now if I define another walk, what will happen? I cannot have same method name. Right? And another thing is, I can actually call here walk now if I want to do that here, is it possible? If I do donkey is equal to human, then he is going to be what? Human. Though the name is donkey, but he is going to be what? Human. Okay. So probably I will create what? Some more class whom I will call it as what? Animal. And in that I will write the walk method. And then when I am creating a donkey, I will do donkey is equal to animal and then donkey dot walk. Now tell me which one is easier. Which one segregates more better? Are you understanding? Here you will have to, in that you will have to put if else or switch case. If it is animal, then walk with 4 legs. If it is human, walk with 2 legs. Right? Here do you have to do anything like that? No. Because what we are doing over here is, we are combining or we are keeping the attributes and the functions which operate on that attributes together in one structure. So in class human you will have what? Let's write it in C well, then we will see in the Python way. So let's assume that in human we have int number of legs. Right? Here also we'll have what? Int number of legs. Then the method def walk is here also. Right? Here there will be an additional method def think. Right? Here there will be no method think. But now if you see the attributes like number of legs, number of hands, number of eyes, right? The culture, whether it is culture, religion, many things will come in here. Whether he is herbivorous or carnivorous, many things will come here. Same will apply over here also. Same will apply over here also, right? But now if you see the attributes and the functions which operate on that attributes, they are kept together. Similarly here also, the attribute and the function which operate on that attributes are kept together. When you have that kind of structure, it becomes easier to understand what is going to happen. Okay, when we say object oriented programming, or when we hear the terms procedural programming and object oriented programming, the fundamental difference between two is what? In procedural we think everything as a function, and in object oriented we think as multiple objects interacting with each other to achieve the system. Let's take another example. Now just imagine this classroom is one system. Okay, so if you see, you are students, I am a trainer. Okay, we all are at the end what? Human. So we all are what? Objects of human. Now if you see, there are benches here, right? There are benches here also, but the size, shape of the benches are different. But at the end, if you see, the material that has been used or the category is what? Bench. So everyone is what? An instance of bench, having its own attributes, having its own dimensions. Similarly, if you look at tube lights, there are 6 plus 2, 8 tube lights are there. But everyone's life is different, right? Might be everyone's company might be different. So if you see, but at the end it is what? Tube light. So all 8 are what? Instance of tube light. Similarly, we have fan, which is an instance of electrical appliance. So if you just visualize this as a whole system, now there are 3 classrooms. So this is one instance of a classroom, right? This is a one instance of a classroom. There are multiple classrooms available in this area. You will find that there are many classes that run. At this floor itself we have 3 classrooms. So the way you have classroom, you call that one also classroom only, but we call this one as a big classroom or that one as a small classroom. Why? Because that differentiates between the 2 objects, 2 instances of a classroom. So if you visualize the whole world which is operating, which is running, right? It is running based on what? Interaction of objects. The real world is a nothing but what? An object oriented way of running the system. Because everyone is what? Now every one of you are having a laptop. Is everyone's laptop same? No, right? Or though it might be same, it must be having the different MAC address, different asset ID allocated to it. So what is that? It makes what? Differentiating attribute for the 2 same instances or 2 same similar objects, not same, similar objects, because they look same. Now if you see this QLogic laptops, they both are same. If you look at the look wise, they are same, but their asset IDs are different. Are you understanding? So the whole world, right, everything, all the systems run on the principle of what? The interaction of objects. कोण interact होता है? Objects interact होता है आणि मग काय तयार होते हैं? A system. If there are no objects, there is no system. Now you can call this as a function also, because C people, right, those who program in C or those who are not aware about object oriented programming, they will call it as a function, okay, but the only difference is what? You cannot have a tight coupling between the attributes and the functions. The way we wrote here together, right? Human is written together and the methods which work on human, they are written together. Whereas here if you see, you have written methods, human representation is present somewhere else. Is there a coupling between 2? No. Are you getting it? Are you understanding? So the first principle that is suggested or that is needed is what? Yes, encapsulation. Now this is an attribute of a real world. Why? Encapsulation is what? Binding data and functions which operate on that data. Now this next line is more important. Many of us remember this term by telling that binding between data and functions, but it's not just that, because let's say if I take data of donkey and functions of human, it's a binding, right? Data and functions. So there has to be an important further point, binding data and functions which operate on that data. Okay, so you try to represent that as a one entity, one capsule. So when you create an object, you have the attributes and at the same time then you have what? Methods. You have the methods. So encapsulation is what? Binding data and functions together, which and what type of functions which operate on that data. त्याला काय म्हणायचं? Encapsulation. Now this is an attribute of a real world, and object oriented programming is what? Representing real world entities in a easier way, in a better way, which actually clearly associates with what? Real world, or which gives you a clear picture that okay, this is the real world system. That's why object oriented programming. The object oriented programming came because they wanted to map real world entities as it is in programming language. Otherwise procedural was good, there was no problem with it. They did many programs, the whole kernel was written with that, but they changed it later. They didn't added the the syntax of object oriented programming, but they made sure that the work happens in the way of object oriented programming. Anybody has done device driver programming? केले का कोणी? Okay. So if you have done, right, you will realize that when you are creating, so there are different classes, and when you take that class, so you specify the method names as a part of function pointers in your structure. So when you are making function pointer, that means what? You are coupling functions and data together. समजते का कोणाला तरी? Function pointer ऐकले का? Function pointer, normal pointer तरी ऐकले का? Have you heard about pointers? So there are function pointers also. So the way we have a pointer, the pointer which points to a function is what? Function pointer. Okay. Okay. So encapsulation is a real world attribute, and that has to be there in a object oriented programming as well. Okay. So then the second attribute that comes in is, if you look from the real world perspective, or let's consider the human representation itself. Now as we are taking an example of a human, let's go ahead with that. Now human has a heart, right? There is a heart present in everyone. Can you remove and show it? It's just in movies there is a dialogue, right? But in real life, can anyone remove and show it? But it's there, right? It's there, brain, cerebrum, it's there, cerebellum, it's there. Though it doesn't work, still it's there, right? Both are there, right? The curves are there, which should be used for storing the knowledge, but we use to store music. But they are there, right? They are there. So are you able to see it? Can you show me your cerebrum? Sir, hai baga माझा छोटा मेंदू. Can you do that? No. But it's there. So if you think, right, what is this? Now just think that you are an object of a human, right? You are an object of a human, and from yourself itself, there are some things which are hidden. तुम्ही स्वतः तुमच्या बॉडीतला मेंदू तुम्ही काढून दाखवू शकत नाही, म्हणजे तुमच्यापासून पण तो लपवलाय ना. इट्स हिडन फ्रॉम यू एज वेल. आउटसाइड वर्ल्डचं गेलं लांब. Right? I am not talking about others, but I am talking with the respect of ourself itself. When you think from yourself perspective, you are not able to. Can you show me your cerebrum? No. Can you show me your heart? No. What does that mean? It's an abstraction. Hidden from the object. Hidden from the object. When you hide from object, it's an hidden from outside world as well. Samajhta ka? Are you getting it? Right? So the second important attribute of a real world is what? Abstraction. What is abstraction? Now abstraction can be two things can be abstracted. One is data abstraction, right? Like cerebrum is a data. It's actually a mass, right? It has a space. It needs a space, so it's a data, right? And how it stores? Are we aware? सोडियम जातं आतमध्ये का क्लोराईड जातं आपल्याला काही माहिती का? नाही. फक्त गाणं चांगलं ऐकलं की लगेच लक्षात राहतं की नाही, दुसऱ्या दिवशी परत ऐकायला लागत नाही. So there is some functioning also happening. So abstraction can be of two things: hiding data and hiding implementation or hiding functionality. आता हार्ट आपल्याला माहिती का, कॉलेजमध्ये आपण शिकतो की बाबा लेफ्ट एट्रियम मधनं राईट एट्रियम मध्ये ब्लड जातं, प्युरिफाय होतं आणि मग परत पुढच्या पूर्ण सगळ्या बॉडीला ट्रान्सफ्यूज केलं जातं. हे फक्त आपण ऐकलं म्हणून, त्याच्या आधी माहिती होतं का आपल्याला? आणि आता आपल्याला लक्षात तरी का काय फरक पडतोय? सर म्हटलं लेफ्ट मधनं राईट मधनं किंवा राईट मधनं लेफ्ट मध्ये काय फरक पडणार आहे सांगा मला. आर यू अंडरस्टँड? सो द फंक्शनॅलिटी इज हिडन देअर. हार्ट इज ऑल्सो हिडन, बट वी स्टिल हॅव अ वे बाय विच वी कॅन मेक आवर हार्ट पंप faster or slower. If you are relaxing, if you are sitting in temple, if you are meditating, you will realize that your breath slows down and you feel calmness. And let's say you are walking on the road and a dog starts running behind you. What happens? The pumping starts faster, right? Because you have started running. So you are able to change the state, right? You are able to change the way it works, faster or slower, right? You can do that. An object can do that. Okay. But if I say कि आता बसलाय आणि फास्ट करता येणार आहे का? नाही. Are you understanding? Clear है? Clear to everyone? So at the end you can call one method which will trigger it to pump fast. Like if you call method run, it will trigger it to run the heart at faster rate, right? If you call the method meditate, what will happen? This slowly when you enter in the meditation process, you will realize that your heart starts becoming pumping slowly, right? So are you getting? So abstraction can be a data abstraction or a function. Function is also known as what? Control. समझ रहे क्या? And try to map it with the real world. Don't think of an object oriented programming. If you think from your perspective that as a human, right, what all attributes you possess, or what are your special characteristics, you will realize that you are an encapsulated entity. Why? Because if I call walk method on Pankaj, Pankaj is only walking, right? When I say Prasad run, Prasad is only running, right? So you are an encapsulated object or entity. So encapsulation is what? Binding data and functions together which operate on that data. Okay. Then second one is what? With an example we have understood that abstraction. What is an abstraction? Hiding the details. What kind of details can be hidden? Either data can be hidden or functionality can be hidden. And data hiding मध्ये काय होतं? Like what material heart is made of, right? How heart looks like, everything is hidden, right? How cerebrum works, it's hidden. So how cerebrum works is hidden is what? Functionality. And the representation of cerebrum is also hidden is what? Data abstraction. So abstraction can be of two types. Namaste. Data abstraction and function abstraction or control abstraction. Function is nothing but what? When you call it, control flows through it, right? So if you are hiding that flow of control, like when you call the walk method, right, it internally invoked what? Start pumping heart at faster rate. Now was that method exposed to you? Did you call that directly? No, you called run method. Run method internally invoked a method on heart which made it pump faster. And if that doesn't happen, then there is a problem. Samajhte ka? Are you getting it? So that's an abstraction. Then the next important thing that comes in for a real world entity is the way it responds. When you are walking on the road, right, and if some bike comes in, the way you respond is different. And when you are walking in a garden, the way you are walking is a different. When you are walking on a road, you are alert. की कोणी मागणं आलं, पुढणं आलं, right? You try to be alert. But when बरेच जण असतात, बागेत चालल्यासारखेच चालतात, right? That is different thing. They walk on road also as if they are walking on park or in a garden. But still, as a logical thinker, right, we can map that. That when we are walking on a road, we are alert. But when we are walking in a garden, we are not alert. We are relaxed, right? If you see, same human, right? Same method, but the way it is behaving is different. Now same thing. Few more examples. This is a very interesting thing and I also like it. When you are talking with your manager, right, if your manager says, तुला कळत नाही का? The way you will respond will be different. Sorry sir, I will try to improve, right? आणि हेच शेजारचा म्हटला, काय रे एवढी पण अक्कल नाही का? फार मोठा लागला रे अक्कल शिकवायला. You immediately start, right? See, same person and same message, but the way you responded was different. Why? Based on context, you become a polymorphic entity. You behave differently based on the context, right? हेच घरी आला आणि भाऊ म्हटला, लहान आहे समजा, अरे काय एवढं पण चुकलं, तुला एवढं पण माहित नाही का, किंवा तुला हा पण रस्ता कळत नाही का? काय म्हणता तुम्ही त्याला? फार मोठा आला शिकवणार आहे, गप बस बाजूला. लाईक व्हॉट यू आर डुईंग. आणि हेच जर का तुम्ही कोणाला पोलिसाला विचारलं कसं जाऊ, तुम्ही त्यांना असं म्हणणार का? नाही म्हणणार ना. द वे यू रिस्पॉन्ड इज डिफरंट. So based on the context, the response is different. Now you are listening, right? Now you are into a listening mode. So the way you will respond to me will be different. But at the same time, if you are not, if you are listening to somebody else, let's say I taught this topic, right? And later you go home and try to revise it. And you sit with your friend. And when your friend says something, you will not listen in the same way you are listening to me. But if you see, the listen method is the same. But still it is what? Behaving like a polymorphic. What is polymorphism? This is nothing but a polymorphism. This is nothing but what? Polymorphism. Now many of you must have heard about it. How many of you have heard about polymorphism? Okay. Can you define polymorphism? Bola. So the definition of polymorphism that you learn in college is polymorphism is a Greek word. Poly means many and morph means form. right? And then you by heart it and write it in the exam and you get the 2 marks. And you will give an example of function add int a comma int b, int add int a int b int c, right? And you get 2 marks. But this is not polymorphism. This is false polymorphism. This is just a compiler's gimmick to fool you, that you think that you are calling add, but when you see the runtime code you find that the 2 functions are named with add ii and add ii. Why? One was taking 2 integer, another was taking 3 integer. This is not at all polymorphism. Polymorphism is a runtime behavior. It's a runtime behavior. Depending on context you responded differently, right? And that was a runtime situation. Was it a compile time situation? Have you been already aware की मी पुढे गेल्यावरती गाडी माझ्या अंगावर येणार आहे? तुम्ही जाल का पुढे? Are you understanding? So polymorphism, the way you respond, is a runtime behavior. Depending on context, your behavior changes. The way you respond changes. So the actual definition of polymorphism is one interface, multiple methods. The actual definition of polymorphism is what? One interface, multiple methods. Polymorphism is a runtime activity. The compile time polymorphism that C++ supports is a false polymorphism. खोटं का? तुम्हाला फक्त त्याने दाखवताना दाखवलं की फंक्शनचं नाव काय दोन्हीकडे ऍड ऍड होते, पण आतमध्ये काय आहे ऍड आय. समजतंय? त्याला फंक्शन ओव्हरलोडिंग म्हणतात, बरोबर ना? फंक्शन ओव्हरलोडिंग त्यालाच म्हणतात. इट्स अ फॉल्स पॉलिमॉर्फिझम because polymorphism cannot happen at compile time. If you do it at compile time, that means what? You already know it. So is it polymorphism? No, it's hard coding. You're already aware of it. And polymorphism is something which is based on runtime situation, you decide to respond differently. Samajhtai ka? Are you getting it? See, one more example. Let's say you are going to get an appraisal letter. So if you are going to get an appraisal letter, you have something in mind. We are human, so we have a thinking process, right? So we already have some thoughts in mind की 10% मिळालं तर थांबायचं, 15% मिळालं तर पुढची 2 वर्ष सोडायचं नाही, राईट? त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी मिळालं तर सोडायचं. Still we try to have what? Some compiled thing to it. And you are aware की कधी मिळणार आहे लेटर. Now let's say you are not aware. You are not aware of anything, and suddenly your manager comes and says you are promoted. The way you respond will be different. But if you are already aware that you are going to get promoted, the way you will react will be different. Samajhtai na? Are you getting it? That surprise creates the difference. The way you respond is different, and that is polymorphism. At runtime, right, you took the decision based on the context. जसं आईने सांगितलं भाजी घेऊन ये, राईट? तर आपण म्हणतो आणू, जाईन, राईट? आणि हेच बाबांनी सांगितलं, इफ यू आर जस्ट बिट scared about your father, right? Or if you have वडिलांचा जरा दबदबा असेल तुमच्यावर, तर बाबा म्हणाल जा भाजी घेऊन ये, तर आपण लगेच उठतो, पिशवी घेतो आणि जाऊन घेऊन येतो. आणि हेच आईच्या बाबतीत नाही करत का? We know, right, what can happen later. Are you getting? I hope you are getting, right? So polymorphism is a runtime behavior, and depending on context you respond, and that's why it is defined as what? One interface, multiple methods. Same person, right? Same walk method, same read method, same listen method, but the way it is responding, the interface is what? Listen only. The interface is what? Walk only. The interface is what? Talk only, but the way it is talked, or the way he is talking or listening is different. Same case, right? The way I am talking with you, I will be talking with a different tone with my manager. The method is same, but depending on the context, the response is different. The way it is getting invoked is different. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? Yes. हाँ, वो स्मार्टनेस रहता है कंपाइलर में, बट ऐसा नहीं होगा ना. See, when you have a polymorphic language, understand, I am not talking about C or C++. I am talking about a language which compiles and executes at runtime. I am talking about those languages. Okay, so when you talk about those languages, they will not optimize it. Like Python will not optimize it. Now Python has a compiler which might do a smartness, but Most of the time they will not do that smartness because they are not sure whether you will invoke that method or not. When they are sure that this method is not getting to invoke, they will optimize it. Okay, we are not, this polymorphism can happen only in those languages which are interpreted. Compiled languages मध्ये polymorphism होऊ शकत नाही. जे काही होतं ते कुठलं आहे, फॉल्स पॉलिमॉर्फिझम, किंवा मग C++ सारखी प्रोव्हिजनिंग करायला लागते. मग व्हर्च्युअल टेबल आणायला लागतं, राईट, व्हर्च्युअल पॉइंटर आणायला लागतो आणि मग व्हर्च्युअल मेथड आणायला लागते आणि त्याच्यात पण ही सगळी मेथड कुठली इन्वोक करायची याचं जे प्रोव्हिजनिंग आहे, राईट, दॅट हॅपन्स ॲट कंपाइल टाइम ओनली. VPTR डिरेफरन्स कर, व्ही टेबल मध्ये जा, व्ही टेबल मधला या मेथडचा पत्ता उचलायचा आहे, हे कंपाइल टाइमलाच लिहिलं जातं. फक्त काय बदलतं, टेबल मधले ऍड्रेसेस हे रन टाइमला येतात फंक्शनचे, बाकी काही बदलत नाही. समजतंय का? सो दो C++ has a runtime polymorphism, the provisioning of runtime polymorphism happens at compile time. हाँ, that is compile time polymorphism. It's period, it's a compile time polymorphism. ही टेबल पण तयार झालेत, फक्त जंप जे करतो ना, म्हणजे VPTR ला डिरेफरन्स करायचा, तिथनं व्ही टेबल मध्ये जायचं आणि व्ही टेबलचा पत्ता उचलायचा, हे कधी होतं, रन टाइम. त्यामुळे VPTR जर का, इफ युअर पॉइंटर, बेस पॉइंटर इज पॉइंटिंग टू डिराइव्ड ऑब्जेक्ट, सो विल डिरेफरन्स विच VPTR, डिराइव्ड VPTR, तिथे लिहिलेलं हेच असतं, स्टार ऑफ PTR प्लस 0 आणि त्याच्यावरती स्टार आणि मग ॲरो, समजा फू नावाची मेथड आहे, हेच होतं. स्टार PTR म्हणजे काय, यू डिरेफरन्स दी ऑब्जेक्ट पॉइंटर, सो यू रीच व्हॉट, दी ऑब्जेक्ट मेमरी, प्लस 0 म्हणजे 0th लोकेशनला परत डिरेफरन्स केला, म्हणजे ह्यातनं तुम्हाला काय मिळाला, VPTR, आणि VPTR मधला फूचा पत्ता. नाउ इफ दिस PTR इज पॉइंटिंग टू लेट्स से दिस, instead of foo, let me call it as a drop. Let's assume that there is a shape class and then there are derived classes, rectangle, circle, rhombus, ellipses. Okay, so if this PTR is of shape, it can point to anyone. Shape pointer can point to anyone. Why? Because shape is base class. We'll understand that in few more minutes. Okay, so shape चा pointer घेतला तू, तो आता जर का सर्कलला पॉइंट करतोय, तर स्टार PTR कुठे जाणार आहे, सर्कलच्या मेमरी मध्ये. प्लस 0 केलं की त्या 0th लोकेशन, सर्कलच्या मेमरी मधला VPTR, त्याच्यावरती स्टार केलं की त्यातला व्ही टेबल आणि त्यातली ड्रॉ मेथड. त्यामुळे ड्रॉ कोणाची कॉल होते, ज्याला पॉइंट करतोय त्याची. इफ यू हॅव मेड इट व्हॉट, व्हर्च्युअल. इफ यू डोंट मेक इट व्हर्च्युअल, कंपाइल टाइमला हे नाही लिहिलं जात, डायरेक्टली बेस ॲरो ड्रॉ. समजतंय का? कंपाइल टाइमला फक्त काय लिहायचं, हे लिहायचं का बेस ॲरो ड्रॉ लिहायचं, हे ठरतं कशावरनं, व्हर्च्युअल लिहिलं की नाही याच्यावरनं. समजतंय? यू विल अंडरस्टँड इट. Okay, so another example of polymorphism is, which is a simpler one, and I usually give it in all the lectures, and it clears it more better. Let's assume that at Deccan Corner you have a 5,000 square feet plot. Assume करायला काहीच प्रॉब्लेम नाही, राईट. असंही आपण स्वप्न बघत असतो, राईट. अजून एक स्वप्न बघितलं, काय बिघडलं. So at Deccan Corner, let's say you have a 5,000 square feet plot and you want to get it constructed. You want to get it constructed. You know that that 5,000 square feet plot is, it might be worth some 50 to 100 crores if you consider the Deccan Corner, because there the shop rate, it's, I think the flat rate itself is 20,000 per square feet. So just double it for shops. So just assume you have it, right? So you will not have to do anything in probably neither of your generation will have to do anything in their future. Okay. So you want to get it constructed. What is your step? What you will do? स्वतः जाणार, कुदळ घेऊन खणन सुरू करणार. What you will do? What you will do? The simplest way, right? Which will reduce your efforts. What you will do? 60-40. That is one approach. What is another approach? Let's say you don't want to give to anything to anyone. You already have enough bank balance which can help you to construct it. You will enter in 60-40 when you don't have that money to construct. So let's assume that you have been already given that credit line where you can construct. Hire a contractor. Simplest way. What is that? Hire a contractor. What you will do? You will hire a contractor, right? And then you will tell him that this is the plot. You will show him the plot. And the next step that contractor will do is what? He will bring some architect. He will contact an architect. He will show that plot to architect, and architect will come with a plan. That plan, will architect come directly to show you, or he will go to contractor to show, and contractor will come to you and show? For you, who is interface? Contractor, right? Because you have hired whom? Contractor. Okay, so architect will come to contractor, contractor will come to you, and you will think that your contractor is itself what? An architect. Because for you it doesn't matter. Now if you want to suggest some changes, you will suggest whom? Contractor. Then contractor will do the change. Will contractor do the changes, or he will delegate that to architect and ask him to do the changes and return him back, and then he will show you again and you approve it, right? Then the contractor will hire the guys who do the plinthing work, the base foundation work. Whom you will tell this? You will tell to contractor only, or you will go and hire. So for you, contractor becomes what? A single interface with multiple methods, right? So he will go and he will hire them, he will get it constructed. If something is going wrong, will you go and tell those workers, or you will tell the contractor? For you, who is interface? Contractor, right? So you will tell the contractor and get it done properly. Now the way your building progresses, right? Then the slabs will be there, the bricks work will be there, right? Multiple works will come in, painting job will be there, everything will be there. And if something is going wrong, your always contact point is whom? Contractor. Because contractor has provided you an interface, a single interface with multiple methods. Now internally, let's say you call a paint method on a contractor, and contractor finds that the painter is not available. It's his job to look out for some other painter, right? Will you worry about that? No. If it's not happening on time, you will scold whom? Contractor. Samajhte na? If something goes wrong, your contact point is whom? Contractor. So this contractor is behaving like a polymorphism. Depending on runtime, he is taking the decision. Right? Now if the bricks work is going on, or if let's say plumbing work is going on and plumber is not available, at runtime he is internally taking decision that whom to bring and how to get that work done. So for you, contractor becomes everything. For you, it's like who constructed the building? Contractor. But did actual contractor constructed it? No. His job was just to delegate and get it done. So he provided you a single interface, and that's why he is what? A polymorphic behavior for you. He performed a polymorphism for you. Depending on the context, depending at the runtime, he took the decision and got the work done. Samajh rahe? Are you getting it? Are you understanding what is polymorphism? So whenever somebody asks you what is polymorphism, you should always say it's one interface, multiple methods. Okay. And the example that you should give is, now this polymorphic behavior, so the contractor was one more example. In programming world, right, the polymorphic behavior is explained with inheritance. The polymorphic behavior is more correlated with inheritance. For example, you have a shape class. I will explain what is inheritance. Circle is also shape, rectangle is also shape, right? Then rhombus is also shape. Wherever you have a is a relationship, it's inheritance. It is always what? Inheritance. What is inheritance? See, the way we represented human, right? Now, few of you are employees and few of you are students. But every one of us are what? Human. Now, let's say if I want to represent employee management system and human and student management system. Now the human attributes I will have to rewrite again and again, right? All the functionalities I will have to rewrite. So it is better approach, write human once. Employee is a human, so inherit from human, right? Student is a human, inherit from human. So do I need to rewrite human stuff again? No. In that case what happens? Human becomes my base class and employee and students are what? Derived classes of the same. Employee and students become what? Derived classes of the same. And the relationship is what? Is a employee is a human, student is a human. Right? Are you getting this? And now here the polymorphism, the polymorphic method or the polymorphic behavior comes in. See, employee when in office, right, when he is listening, the way he listens it's different. Now employee can be a student also, that is also possible, because at the end they are inheriting from what? Human. So employee has the human listen method and he provides his own implementation as well. He provides his own implementation as well. When he is listening to a manager, he will listen in a different way. When he is listening to parents, he will listen in a different way, or the response will be different. When he is listening to friends, the response will be different. समझ रहे? Are you getting it? So coming to the shape class. So when we have a shape class, circle, rectangle, rhombus are what? Derived classes out of it, because everyone is what? At the end what? Shape. See, whenever you have a either relationship, it is inheritance. English is a, for example, two-wheeler is a vehicle, four-wheeler is a vehicle, aeroplane is a vehicle, ship is a vehicle. So whenever you have an English word, right, whenever you have an English is a, it is what? Inheritance. And when you have has a, human has a heart, vehicle has a engine, has a means what? Containment. Has a means what? Containment. An object is present in some another object. Human has a heart. It has a relationship. Is human a heart? Can you map that? Do you say that human is a heart? No, right? Student is a human. Right? Student is a college. Do you say that? No. College has a student. Is college a student? So there are two types of relationship. One is either, second one is a has a. And both represents what? Reusability. Both are useful for what? Doing reusability. Okay. But one does a reusability in a part and whole relationship, and another like human has heart. It just contains an object of heart. So heart must be also what? A class. Heart must be also what? A class. काय? Employee. हार्ट तर ह्युमनच्या आतमध्ये आहे, त्यामुळे ह्युमन कंटेन्स हार्ट. सो ती रिलेशनशिप काय आहे? ह्युमनच्या आतमध्ये हार्टचा ऑब्जेक्ट आहे, आणि एम्प्लॉईचा तू जेव्हा ऑब्जेक्ट बनवशील तेव्हा त्याच्या आतमध्ये ऑटोमॅटिकली कोण येणार आहे? ह्युमन पण येणार आहे, आणि ह्युमनच्या आतमध्ये हार्ट असल्यामुळे तो पण येणार आहे. तर स्टुडंट जितेंद्र, सो तिथे पण तेच होणार ना. स्टुडंटचे ॲट्रिब्यूट्स येतील, ह्युमनचे ॲट्रिब्यूट्स येतील. ह्युमनच्या ॲट्रिब्यूट मध्ये हार्ट हा एक ॲट्रिब्यूट आहे, तो पण येईल. सी देर आर टू रिलेशनशिप्स, वन इज अ, अनदर इज हॅज अ. In the real world there are two relationships, right? You have a vehicle or you have a four-wheeler is what? Has a relationship, right? Let's say your surname is XYZ, so you belong to that hierarchy or that family tree is what? Is a relationship. समझते का? Are you understanding? Okay, so coming to this point, so when we have shape, circle, rectangle, rhombus are what? Derived classes of that shape. Okay, and now when your shape is circle, you want to make sure that when you draw, it doesn't result into drawing what? Rhombus. समझ रहे ना? When you draw, it should be what? Always a circle. Now the advantage in Python is what? The Python is an interpreted language, right? So when you create a circle object, CR is equal to circle. It's always going to be what? Circle only. And when you call CR dot draw, it will always call which draw? Circle's draw. If circle has implemented. If circle doesn't implement it, then it will look in shape. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? Right? This, so representing this in Python is easier. Why? Because Python is interpreted. Now if you go to C++, what we would have done? We would have done something like this. Shape star ptr equal to new circle, and then you do ptr arrow draw. Now if you see, the type of ptr is what? Shape. There are two things. Type of ptr is what? Shape. And it is pointing to whom? Circle. Now there is a confusion. किसका ड्रॉ कॉल करूं? मेरा टाइप क्या है? शेप. तो शेप का ड्रॉ करूं या मैं सर्कल को पॉइंट कर रहा हूं तो सर्कल का ड्रॉ कॉल करूं? समझ रहे क्या? In C++, why there is a confusion? In Python, why there is no confusion? Because Python is what? Interpreted language. So it takes decision based on type of object at runtime. समझ रहे? But C++ has to take that decision at compile time. C++ has to take the decision at compile time, and this is the scenario which actually causes the trouble. You have a pointer of base pointing to whom? Derive. Now when you call the method, the type of pointer is shape, so you can call draw of shape also, and at the same time you might think यार नहीं मैं circle को point कर रहा हूँ तो किसका draw call होना चाहिए? Circle का. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? Are you understanding? When you do this, there are two options. One is calling draw of shape. Another is जिसको point कर रहा हूँ उसका draw. Okay. Now calling draw of the type of object is a compile time polymorphism. वो decision कब होता है? Compile time पे. क्योंकि you never see at compile time what is on left hand side or what is on right hand side, not on left hand side. Because left side is already clear. What is that? A type of shape. Now you might assign here circle or rectangle or rhombus or XYZ, which is inheriting from shape. So if you want to delay this decision, instead of doing ptr arrow draw, so basically resolving it to, there are two options with C++. One is shape : draw, that means invoking draw of shape, right? Another is what? To whom I am pointing, uska draw. So to whom I am pointing, I will get it through what? Star ptr. ptr is what? A pointer. What is a pointer? Pointer is a variable which points to another variable, which holds an address. So if you want to go to that variable, you have to do what? Star ptr. So you actually reach what? The memory of that variable. So star ptr took you to the circle's memory, and then in that circle's memory, right, the 0th location tells you where to look for draw, and that's why there is +0 and star and then arrow draw. Now this draw will be whom? This draw will be circles, provided circle has implemented, otherwise it will be draw of shape if circle doesn't provide. समजतंय का? इथे हे सगळं करायला लागलं. पायथन मध्ये हे करायची गरज आहे का? नाही का? It's a runtime interpreted language, and the type of variable you don't specify, it automatically becomes the value that you assign, the variable type becomes the respective. बरोबर की नाही? आपण कधी लिहितो का? असं लिहिलंय कधी आपण शेप स्टार ptr? काय लिहितो आपण? सर्कल बनवायचं असेल तर cr इक्वल टू सर्कल, शेप बनवायचं असेल तर sh इक्वल टू शेप. Are you getting? Are you understanding? समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? Everyone? Are you understanding? Is that clear? Are you getting it? So ISA represents what? Inheritance, and HASA represents what? Containment. Jitendra is an object of class, let's say, human. So Jitendra is a object of class human. Jitendra is an employee as well. Okay. So employee is a human. Employee आहे याचा अर्थ काय? employee belongs to some company. So I will have company information in me. When I create an employee, I will have here company details, right? Are you getting it? But is company a Jitendra? No. Company has, or company is part of, Jitendra is part of company, or Jitendra belongs to some company. So when you have that kind of relationship, it is what? Has a. And when you have a is a relationship, that means this is completely present in this one. And with that, it has some additional things. That is what? Inheritance. समझ रहे क्या? Is a represents what? Inheritance. And has a represents what? Contentment. Now when we take an example of vehicle, right? Now if you see, you can have two-wheeler, four-wheeler, right? Now before going to this, actually we should have three categories. What? Airways, roadways, and waterways. Right? Air, road, and water. So when you have airways, you will have here helicopter, aeroplane, then jets, fighter jets. Similarly, when you go to road, you will have two-wheeler, four-wheeler, multi-axle, right? When you go to waterways, you will have ships, you will have yachts, then you might have probably fast water boat. काय? हाँ जे काय म्हणतोय ते. Are you getting this? So now if you see, two-wheeler is a vehicle, right? Four-wheeler is a vehicle, right? Jet is a vehicle. Jet has an engine. Two-wheeler has an engine. Four-wheeler also has an engine. Water boat also has an engine. समझ रहे क्या? Are you understanding? So everyone has an engine. So where you will put engine? You will put it in vehicle. Vehicle has an engine. What is the relationship? Has a. But two-wheeler is a vehicle. It's a inheritance. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? Everyone? Are you understanding? Is a and a has a. Right? Now, when you are going down, काय रे? काहीतरी प्रश्न आहे. See, okay, you are trying. I just wrote here air. It was airways. So it's just a mode which classifies further. So this, while we are talking as what? Helicopter is a vehicle. We are not talking air as a vehicle. Airways is classifying it. An additional attribute of airways is classifying it. So what you will do? You will have an airways class which inherits from vehicle, and then airways will be what? Inherited by this. So airways will provide an abstract method, because you cannot have you cannot just have a direct an object of airways. समझ रहे ना? See, airways is not a concrete class. समझ रहे ना? Are you getting it? Is airways a concrete class? Can I create an object of airways? Can I create an object of vehicle V? आपको तुरंत क्वेश्चन है ना, कौन सी vehicle? जो इसको अभी हुआ. He is telling that is airways a vehicle? No. But airways classifies a different category of vehicle. So they become what? This is an abstract class. This is also an abstract class. These are the concrete classes. I can call, right? Helicopter is an air vehicle. I can call that. Helicopter is a vehicle. I can call that. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? हाँ. हाँ, म्हणजे थोडक्यात हे बघ, हा एक ॲब्स्ट्रॅक्ट बेस क्लास, हे त्याचे अजून ॲब्स्ट्रॅक्ट 3 डिराइव्ड क्लासेस, आणि मग त्यांच्यापासून इनहेरिट झालेले हे कॉन्क्रीट डिराइव्ड क्लासेस. यांचे तू ऑब्जेक्ट बनवू शकतो, यांचे नाही, याचा पण नाही. समजतंय का? समझ रहे क्या? हाँ, कैटेगराइजेशन के लिए है. At the end we are mapping directly here, right? This is just categorization के लिए. It's not like you will create a class also. Probably you will have this as an attribute over here. category of vehicle, and that will be pointed to either air, road or water. समझ रहे हैं? उसका क्लास करने की भी वैसे जरूरत नहीं है. Yes, if you can inherit abstract classes, basically you inherit abstract classes. That's the purpose of creating an abstract class, that somebody will implement it and provide what? Concrete class. नहीं तो abstract बनाना ही क्यों है? Abstract बनाते हैं, और इसका मतलब ही आपको inheritance enforce करना है कि कोई तो इसका implementation देगा. समझते समझेल अजून समझेल. When we move on, you will understand it. So important point is what? When you are moving down in hierarchy, when you are moving down in hierarchy, right? This was a generic base class. This was a generic base class. These are the specialized derived classes. So when you are moving down the hierarchy, you are doing what? Specialization. When you are moving down, you are doing what? Specialization. Simple रही, English शब्द है. And when you are moving up in the hierarchy, let's say आधी आपण सगळ्या गाड्यांची नावं लिहिली आणि मग आपल्या लक्षात आलं की अरे नाही, एरोप्लेन, हेलिकॉप्टर आणि जेट हे एका कॅटेगरीत गेले पाहिजे. So we created some base class to it. So when we created some base class to it, what was that? It was generalized base class, right? These are the special classes: two-wheeler, four-wheeler, right? Truck, bus, multi-axle. These are what? Specialized base derived classes. Now when you generalize them to a vehicle, when you create a vehicle class, so that what you do, you achieve reusability. See, at the end, programming is done to achieve what? Reusability. Maximum reusability you want. Why? एकदा लिहिलं की परत 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 ते लिहायचंय का? नाही. And then inheritance solves the purpose of reusability. Inheritance came into picture to achieve what? Reusability. So you have a human class, you are reusing it as a employee as well as student. Now while reusing, you are having what type of relationship? Either relationship. So employee student became what? Specialized derived classes. But when you go from bottom to up, so when you go from employee or student to human, you have created human, which is a generalized base class of employee and student. समझते का? समझते का? So when you are moving up, it is generalization, and when you are moving down, it is specialization. When you are moving up, it's generalization. When you are moving down, it's specialization. समझते का? Inheritance helps you to achieve what? Reusability. And inheritance is represented what? By is a relationship. And another is a containment. Something contains something is what? Containment. Has a relationship. Human has a heart. Human has a brain. Is what? Containment. Is human a brain? No. समझ रहे ना? Just English. If you just follow the English, you will understand it. Human is a social animal. Yes, it's what? Is a relationship. Human has an animal. That doesn't sound right. Human is an animal, right? Are you understanding? समझते का? Are you getting it? Are you understanding it? There can be multiple inheritances. Multiple, multi-level, many are possible. Okay. Now Java basically stops you from doing multiple inheritance. But C++ says करना है करो. It is logical as well not to have multiple inheritance, but still it's fine. It's there. Are you getting it? So you cannot be an hybrid derived class. When you are providing an interface, you will provide an interface for a one implementation, not for multiple. So usually that's why what Java does, Java says you can have a multiple inheritance, but then only of interfaces, not of concrete classes. So you inherit multiple interfaces. Interfaces are what? They are abstract classes. They don't have any implementation. The one who inherits has to provide the implementation. abstract म्हणजे काय? काहीच नाही. Nothing is there. That's why it's known as what? Abstract. समझ रहे? Are you getting it? Are you understanding what is inheritance? Is that clear? What's the time? Okay, good. So these four things, right? Polymorphism and inheritance. Now you might find that some might say inheritance first or some might say polymorphism first. It doesn't matter because both are associated with each other. When inheritance comes, then only the polymorphism will come, or polymorphism can come at a single class also, because single class can respond in a different way based on different context. Okay. So these are the four important attributes. If you see, a real world entity possesses, a real world entity possesses it, and that's why if you want to have a programming language which represents a real world entity as it is, right, you need a language which has all these four features. Okay, and then such a language which has all these four features is known as what? Object oriented programming language, because they are supporting what? The important four things which are possessed by the real world entity, and then it makes easier to represent what? Real world entity. Are you getting it? And this applies, whatever I have talked about these four things, that applies to all the languages which says what? They are object oriented programming language. When they say object oriented programming language, they are supporting this four. Now they will have their syntax might be a bit different, but they will be supporting it. Now can we do this all four in C? Yes, it's possible, but the syntax becomes tedious and then it all goes bouncer. पहिले साधं C झेपत नाही. आता हे जर का केलं तर म्हणजे गेलेच ना, मग कामातनच गेले. असंच ना. आता डिफरन्स असा नाहीये रे, खरं तो डिफरन्स नाहीये. सी द डिफरन्स बिटवीन, ओके, कमिंग टू दॅट पॉइंट, द व्हॉट इज देन he has a question that what is the difference between procedural and object oriented, because when I say in case of object oriented, these are the four important things and we can implement that in a procedural language as well. Only what will change? The syntax will become tedious. Okay, the most important difference between the two languages is the way you start your thinking. That is the most important difference. When I am giving you some program to write, you always start thinking from writing a function. हमारे दिमाग में पहले क्या आता है? मेन लिखो और कुछ तो फंक्शन लिखो. We don't even think of what is going to be input, what is going to be output, which should be done first. समझ रहे ना? हमारा थॉट किस पे जाता है? क्या फंक्शन लिखूं, right? And how I get it done. So in case of procedural, your always focus is on writing multiple functions. You achieve reusability by writing functions. जैसे हमने रेंज में के प्राइम नंबर प्रिंट करो. You wrote a prime number function only once, right? You reuse it in this also. So what you did? You reuse the function. Okay. Now, when it comes to an object-oriented thinking, the most important thought process goes to what? Data. You first think of data. You think of data representation. What is going to be the data in my whole program? What is going to be my input? How I am going to process on that comes later. So the approach, right, that is followed in procedural is, if you try to draw the Venn diagram, in procedural something like this happens. This is data and this is functions. So one thing is, you have data, you think of input also, right? But are they coupled together? No. The way I show, right, the walk method could have been called with donkey also and could have been called with human as well. Whereas in case of object oriented, you focus more on data and then you write. functions which operate on that data. So you will never have the functions which don't operate on that data. If you have something like that, then your design is wrong. म्हणजे सगळे ॲट्रिब्यूट कोणाचे आहेत? माणसाचे, पण काम कोणासारखं करतोय? गाढवासारखं. समजतंय का? जे आपल्या बाबतीत घडतं, राईट? बऱ्याचदा आपले घरचे आपल्याला म्हणतात काय चाललंय, गाढवासारखं करू नकोस. आर यू अंडरस्टँड? इथे तसं आहे का? नाही. सो इफ यू सी डेटा and functions which operate on that data, this clearly represents encapsulation. Are you getting it? And that's why this is known as bottom up approach. This approach is known as bottom up because you create the bottom first and then you move up, whereas here it's a top down approach. You think of multiple things at the same time. You think of data also, you think of functions also. Namaste. Are you getting it? Are you understanding it? These are known as Venn diagrams. होतं का तुम्हाला? आठवत आहे का शाळेत? हां, प्रोबॅबिलिटी मध्ये जर का तुम्हाला आठवत असेल तर, you can recall probability, we used to draw this diagram. Are you getting it? Everyone समझ रहा है क्या चल रहा है? Are you getting it? So then comes the point, what is a class? Yeah. Okay, so coming to the point, we tried to use multiple modules. If you see, we used argument parser, argparse, right? We use right now the temp file, right? In temp file there was a class declaration मध्ये होता class pulled temporary file, that was class. But others, those methods that we invoked, right, temporary file, which were written under function, they were directly written functions in temp file module. Now Python मध्ये काय झाले की every py script is a module, so that is one modular approach, right, which is actually like a package. Okay, so when you are using temp file, you do import temp file. If you do from temp file import star, everything becomes directly accessible. But when you do import temp file, now while calling any method, you do what? Temp file dot respective method. So that gives you one way of more modularization. But it's not an object oriented way. Now from temp file you created an object of spooled temporary file and then you called method on that. That is an object. समझ रहे क्या? जैसे आर्ग पार्स में हमने आर्गुमेंट पार्सर का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया एंड देन उसके ऊपर हमने ऐड आर्गुमेंट्स किए और पार्स आर्ग्स को कॉल किया. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? So we have used object oriented programming file when we did fd is equal to open. Though open was global method, what it returned? An object of type file. And then you called read write. You called fd dot read write. When you do fd1 dot read, it was another file. समझ रहे क्या? Are you getting it? So indirectly we have done programming which was using what, or which was based on what? Objects. Is that clear? Clear to everyone? So try to just explain yourself, try to recall whatever I have covered. Okay, just recall once and then we'll just try to take a brief look at what is object and what is a class. पानी दे रहे? आला. from temp file import star सगळं डायरेक्टली ऍक्सेसिबल होतं. सगळंच येतं तुझ्या नेम स्पेस मध्ये. तुझ्याकडे मग ती डेफिनेशन उडेल आणि ही डेफिनेशन कन्सिडर होईल. आठवून बघा रिझ्यूम, बेसिक नॉलेज म्हणून आठवून तर बघा ना, काय झालं तर झालं. काय जावाची किती एक्सपिरियन्स पण मुलींसाठी जावा 2 to 4 आहे का कोणी? पण मुलींसाठी आहेत, मुलांसाठी नाही. हां पाठव मग. प्रसाद दाभेकर जाताना घेते मेल आय डी. इज इट क्लिअर? क्लिअर टू एव्हरीवन? समजलं का अरुण? नक्की नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला तुला सांगायला लावणार आहे. हां म्हणजे हा उद्या येणारच नाही. इज इट क्लिअर? क्लिअर टू एव्हरीवन? एनी डाऊट इन दिस? काय आलं? चला जमले. मी काय वेगळं शिकवलंच नाही, मी फक्त आपण कसं रिप्रेझेंट होऊ शकतं हेच शिकवलंय. and that's the object oriented programming. Is that clear? Clear to everyone? Are you getting this? Any doubt in this? So what is a class? Now comes to the मागे मैं काही डाउट्स असतील तर विचारा. जमतं रे थोडंफार, मला विचारा, देईन मी उत्तर, देईन, प्रयत्न तरी नक्की करीन. कसला? The most important benefit of object oriented approach is the language syntax makes it easier to visualize real world. That's it. बाकी काही फरक नाही. बाकी जो ॲडव्हान्टेज आहे म्हणजे फंक्शन तर तू असे लिहिणार आहे, वॉक मेथड तुला इथे लिहायची होती, इथे लिहायची, फक्त इथे जेव्हा तू वापरतोय तेव्हा तुला लिहिताना सोपं जातंय, तुला कळतंय. यू कॅन को रिलेट डायरेक्टली टू रिअल वर्ल्ड. जितेंद्र.walk को रिलेट झालं ना, कोण वॉक करतंय? जितेंद्र. समजतंय का? दॅट्स दी ओनली डिफरन्स. अदर दॅन दॅट देर इज नो डिफरन्स. इट्स ऑल थिंकिंग. द डिफरन्सेस आर ऑल सबटल or subtle. Self is nothing but this. समझ रहे क्या? So what is a class? Class is nothing but what? Collection of attributes and functions which work on that attributes. And class is a generic representation which can be used to create what? Multiple instances. And those instances are known as what? Objects. Those instances are known as what? Objects. Okay. Now every object has 4 important things which we will talk in tomorrow's lecture. But just to understand or just to have a brief of it, every object has a unique identity. तुम्हाला मला प्रत्येकाला आपल्याला एक आधार कार्ड नंबर आहे. What is that? Unique identity. Right? Every object has a state. Every object has a state. नका लिहून घेऊ, गडबड करू नका, उद्याच्याला पण सांगणार आहे आणि प्रेझेंटेशन मध्ये पण लिहिलेलं आहे. Every object has a state. What do we mean by state? Current values of the attributes defines state. आता तुम्ही जे कोणी इथे लेक्चरला बसले त्यांची स्टेट काय? दे आर इन लिसन मोड. बट युअर फ्रेंड्स, दोज आर राईट नाउ डुईंग आउटिंग और गोइंग फॉर अ मूवी और वॉचिंग मूवी, राइट? देयर स्टेट इज डिफरेंट. Right now let's say you are 30 or you are 25. So the way your breath is increasing, your state is changing, right? You are approaching to that while breath count loop, right? So with every breath count it is getting decremented. So your state is continuously changing. The way if you look at a vehicle, right? Your vehicle has a fixed state like color of the vehicle. You will not go and change it. आज मला blue पाहिजे म्हणून blue रंग लावला, उद्या brown पाहिजे म्हणून brown लावला. We don't do that, right? Engine number, will you go and change it? No. Chassis number, will you go and change it? No. Will you change your horsepower? Will you be able to do it? No. But fuel level, yes. If you go to Siagat, it's going to drop down. If you go from here to home, with every kilometer you are moving or every meter you are moving on, the state is changing. Now, so basically state classifies in two states. One is static, that is fixed, another which is changing, that is dynamic. So every object has two states, static state and dynamic state. Okay, and state is defined by values of the attributes at a given point of time. Then every object has a responsibility. Like the vehicle's responsibility is what? To make sure that it takes you from one place to another. When you start it, when you move it, when you accelerate it, right? The responsibility of vehicle is what? It should move. Likewise, when we are a student, our responsibility is what? To do the homework. But do we do that? No. But our responsibility is that, right? When you are in a student age, your responsibility is that when you transit, right? Or if you know the 4 varnashram that we have in, right, in our religion. So what that says? It's nothing but state, right? You are in a, first you are in a kid state, then you change to a, where you are a student, right? Then you become a grihastha ashram, then you again go back to the vanaprastha ashram. So there was down here, shanivar raivar. Anyway, okay. So the important point is what? So that is what is your responsibility. And how you achieve the responsibility? By performing some actions. Like when I say, as a student, your responsibility is what? To study. That's clear. Your responsibility is what? To study. But how you will achieve that? By performing a behavior like घरी गेला, Pythonचं पुस्तक उघडलं, वाचलं, 4 program केले. So when you do that, you are doing what? You are performing action which achieves your responsibility. So every object has 4 things: identity, state, responsibility and behavior. Behavior is nothing but function. Behavior helps you to achieve what? Responsibility. And behavior and responsibility together changes what? State of an object. Likewise, if you just recall 2.5 months back, the state of you, when you consider with the respective of Python or programming, was not that good. Then in 2 months, those who took efforts, right, those who did programming, they will find that now they understand. At least program बघितलं की कळतं बाबा कुठून कुठं चाललंय, काय उडे मारतोय. आधी तेही कळायचं नाही. So isn't it change in your state? Are you understanding? Is that clear? So we will understand that this tomorrow again, and then we will see how we can do an object oriented programming in Python, how we write class in Python. Okay, those all stuff we will see tomorrow, and then we will go to regular expression. Next week काय lecture आहे की